Thanks for coming this morning. And we've got some fun stuff to share with you this morning. Because we're in a more intimate setting, I thought it'd be kind of nice to let some of the folks that worked on these projects, some of the engineers, demo them to you. So we're going to have a few colleagues up here showing you stuff. I'm going to be a little like a yo-yo, but that's fine. And so I'd like to start with the state of the Mac. We're going to be talking about the Mac today. And to take us through the state of the Mac, I'd like to invite my colleague Tim Cook, our Chief Operating Officer, up to take us through that.
Thanks, Steve.
Yep.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to start by talking about Apple's revenue and putting the Mac business in context. If you look at Apple's revenue, the Mac made up 33%, or a third of the revenue for last year. And, you know, this is a significant number by itself. But what's even more significant is that 33% was $22 billion. $22 billion. And to put this in some context, the Mac company, if it were a standalone company, and we have no plans to do that, would be number 110 on the Fortune 500 list. Well, this is amazing. And so this set a new record for us. And, of course, with revenue came units. Or with units came revenue. We did almost 14 million Macs in the fiscal year that just closed out. And, you know, to put that in some context, that's 3 times as many that we did just 5 years earlier. 3 times in 5 years. It's incredible. And, of course, that has led to an incredible increase in the install base. And, in fact, the install base now is just shy of 50 million users around the world. We're extraordinarily proud of this number. And, you know, this didn't just start happening. Last quarter, on a year-over-year basis, the Mac grew 27% versus the market rate of growth of 11%. And so that's 2.5 times the rate of growth of the market. However, this has been the case that the Mac outgrew the market for 18 quarters in a row. That's 4.5 years. It's incredible momentum. And, of course, with growing faster than the market leads to some good share numbers. And just as one proxy of that, the last month that we have from NPD, which is the month of August, the Mac share in retail in the United States was over 20%. That's 1 in 5 PCs that are sold in retail in the United States is a Macintosh. Again, incredible. Now, with the share rising and the units rising much faster than the industry, we have a very vibrant developer community. And in fact, now, and this is a stunning number, we have 600,000 registered Mac developers. And what's even more amazing than the 600 is the fact that they're growing at 30,000 per month. 30,000 per month. And we have new developers like Valve, the creator of Steam. You know, Valve is one of just the premier gaming developers in the world. And they are bringing titles simultaneously to the Mac and the PC. They have 25 million users, and they're bringing titles like Half-Life. This is great for the Mac and a great shot in the arm for gaming on the Mac. We also have developers that we've worked with for a long time, like Autodesk. Autodesk recently announced, if you didn't see it, that they're bringing their flagship product, AutoCAD, to the Mac. Now, we've coveted this app for a long time, and we couldn't be more pleased to have it offered to a whole new generation of designers on the Mac. And then we have developers that are continuing to invest in the Mac, like Microsoft. You may have seen the recent announcement of Microsoft of Office. They have done a remarkable job with this product. If you've seen Outlook in here, if you haven't seen it, you should really look at it. It's exceptionally good. Now, with all of the success in developers and all of the growth, maybe what's more meaningful for us is the customer reaction is great. Customer survey after customer survey, we are number one. The Mac is scoring number one. The ranking that was just out for ACSI, which is the American Customer Satisfaction Index, the Mac is number one, 7th year in a row. And Consumer Reports, number one for the last decade in tech support. And PC World, number one in reliability. That's both desktop and laptop. And PC Magazine, Reader's Choice, number one, laptops and desktops. Some pretty incredible results. Now, fueling the Mac momentum, one of the key things behind it is this incredible push that we've had into Apple retail, which is still under 10 years old. This is the flagship store in New York. Our stores welcomed 75 million visitors last quarter. And over the last fiscal year, they sold 2.8 million Macs. And what's more important than that is that about 50% of those are new to the Mac. And so the tent with the Mac is getting larger and larger. We now have 318 of those stores in 11 countries. And we've had some great store openings recently, like the store on the Upper West Side in Manhattan. Our push in international has brought us the second store in Paris. This is the Paris Opera House. If you've seen this, this is an incredible store. Our second largest store in London, the Covent Garden. And this is a jaw-dropping store with a 40-foot glass cylinder. This is in Shanghai, and it's clearly destined to become a landmark. And this is our latest store in Beijing. The stores in China, interestingly, are the highest traffic of any of our stores. And if you've ever been to any of our U.S. stores, you know that's making a statement. And so that, my friends, is the state of the Mac. Whether you look at the products or you look at the numbers or what's behind the products and the numbers, the momentum on the Macintosh has never been more. Thank you. I'll turn it back over to Steve.
Thanks, Tim. You know, I could hear a lot of phones beeping. So could we just take a minute, maybe everybody could flip the silencer on their phones? Thank you. So that's the state of the Mac. Now let's move on to some new products. I'd like to talk about iLife. iLife is widely regarded as the best suite of sort of digital life applications in the world. And it's why some people buy a Mac, because you can do amazing things with your photos, your videos, in music that you can't do on any other personal computer or with any other software. And we keep improving it every year or two, coming out with a new version, and it's gotten incredibly good. Well, we've got a new version we're announcing today, which is iLife 11. It's got the same apps in it, and we'd like to give you a little look at 3 of them today. So the first one is iPhoto. It's the most popular app of the suite. And iPhoto 11's got some great features. You know, we tried in the last release this new thing, which was a full screen mode. So you could go into full screen mode and do a few things in iPhoto. And the response has been so great that we're really fleshing out the full screen mode so you can just live full screen in iPhoto. And it's wonderful. We've got a lot of Facebook enhancements where you can even more easily post to Facebook and even see people's responses back to the photos that you've posted. We've made it really easy and elegant to email photos to people from iPhoto without ever leaving iPhoto. We've added some beautiful new slideshows. A big leap in books. You know, we're printing now over 2 million books a year. And we've got a big leap now in how you make those books and the quality of the printing. And it's really nice. And we're adding beautiful letterpress cards as well. So a lot of great stuff in iPhoto 11. And to take us through a demo of that, I'd like to ask Phil Schiller, our Senior Vice President of Worldwide Product Marketing.
Thanks, Steve. Well, good morning, everyone. I get to be the first to show you this great new piece of software, iPhoto 11. It's really stunning. I know many of you use iPhoto. It's one of the most popular apps ever on the Mac, and this is the best version yet. You can work as before in a window, as you see up here, but as Steve told you, this is amazing new full screen mode. I can spend my entire time working in iPhoto in a big, beautiful full screen. This is the events view. I've got all my events on here. I can scrub over any event to find a photo I'm looking for instantly. They're all organized chronologically. You see how fast and smooth they are? They use a lot of new core software from macOS 10 to accelerate the performance, and it's incredible what Core Graphics lets us do. But it's not just events. I can click on Faces and now get a beautiful full-screen Faces view. And I see all the people in my photo library and the faces. I can just click and find any one of my friends in my photos. And there's a new full-screen Places view as well. So now I get a big, beautiful map of the world. I can look at it by terrain view or satellite view. It's gorgeous. Coming down off of a server, real maps. I have a floating menu where I can pick any place I want to zoom in on. A state, a city, a specific location. So, for example, if I click down to someplace like London, we immediately zoom in on a map of London. And you see push pins on the map for every place where I've taken photos and have them in iPhoto around London. Of course, those photos have location information. If I took them from my iPhone, they automatically do, or I can add them from photos I take with my camera. I can hover my mouse over any pin, and I see a name of that location. If I click on it, I'll go right to those photos. Or better yet, I'm going to click this button that says Show Photos, and now that's all the photos and all the push pins that are in that area of the map I was just looking in. So there are 7 places that had photos around London, and here are all those photos. And I can work on those photos, do anything I want. Well, for example, maybe I want to show you a slideshow of my pictures around London. I can do that right here with a single click. I'm going to click this button that says Slideshow. And this will let me show you a second new feature of iPhoto 11. We've got some amazing new slideshow themes. I'm going to pick this one called Places and let iPhoto make a slideshow for us. See, iPhoto is zooming in on the photos, creating transitions. It automatically had a music track that's picked for me, or I can select my own. If you look closely, the map is actually slightly moving behind the photos. There's a live drop shadow on the map. You've never been able to create slideshows this beautiful, and you didn't have to do anything. iPhoto did it all for you. 1 up or 2 up. So that's one of our new slideshow themes, the Places theme. I'd like to show you a few more of those themes. Let's go into Album View. The Album View, this is another new full screen view. You see the albums look a little like the photo albums you have on an iPad. And I can see all the albums I've arranged of my photos. I can scroll down and you see live, I've got photos in here from my Facebook account. It actually reads them down, even if they weren't added from iPhoto, or from my Flickr account, automatically, all in the album view. And of course, I've got slideshows in here. I've already preset up a few. So I'm going to play you one more to show you another template. Called the Reflections template. You get photos 1 up, 2 up, or 4 up. It automatically does it for you. A white background, a great music track, and of course